So if we take a look at the sickle sweep, the only difference, or almost only difference, is my feet just switch. So this one goes to the hip, and this one goes behind. Benefit of this, I can reach further. So from here, if he steps away with this leg, I might not be able to reach it. And let's exaggerate if you go a little further. Okay, I can't reach it, but from here, I should be able to reach it. So I'm also more on my side. Like in this one, I definitely don't want to keep both my hips on the floor, so I'm just a little bit sideways. But when I switch to this one, I'm almost completely on my side. And you can use your sole of the foot or your toes or the back of your, or the Achilles over here. It's not supposed to be a kick, it's just the same function. This one's pushing, and if I don't have a leg behind, he should be taking a step. You can even occasionally just try this out. So don't put your foot behind, just feel that you can push. And then you take this one behind. Also, to show without you, also when I'm done pushing on the hip, if I'm doing the first one, I'm just swinging my leg back when I'm getting up on my knee. Same thing here, when I'm pushing, I'm just trying to get up here. So you can use your elbow to help you get up. So one more time. We'll go from this one. This one comes on the hip, hook behind, and I'm pushing. And coming up. See it again, or give it a try?
Give it a try.
Yes, thank you. Common scenario I also have this from the first one. When you make a fall, you end up like this.
Yep.
So if I have this, can't scramble up.
Yep.
You can also go direct.
Just like
when I'm in the position, I don't want my hip line to be right next to one of his legs. I want it to be sort of in the center. So if I got into the position, you see my hips are close to his leg, I'm gonna have a hard time of reaching his hip. So then I just need to use this pull. I'm pulling here and foot on the floor, and I'm just adjusting. So my hips are more in the center of his legs. Okay, so here I will have a more pushing power on his hip. Also, if I'm more straight, I don't feel I can push as far. Okay, of course there are like high level grapplers who use this one. So it's just personal preference probably. But I prefer to be more on my side and try to keep my hip here. Especially when you are against somebody who has longer limbs than you have, which is really rare that I have that problem. No, I'm kidding. But I need to be really close to it. And now we're going to just play with adjusting yourself, using this one, this grip, and this grip, and also the elbow on the floor here. So just move around until you feel you're in a comfortable position, and then you can go for either one. Okay, so just make sure where your hip is. And in a short while, we're gonna do a round where we're gonna go for some grip fighting with our feet. Okay, thanks. So immediately after I get into this position, most of the time, my opponent is gonna either push my foot off his hip or try to pull it up. And if you do either one, he should not be able to do this. So I have to fight it, right? I know that he's probably gonna push it off or pull it off. And if you try it, go for it. I'm gonna push on his hip as hard as I can, and I'm also pulling here. And when I'm gonna pick the time when my foot leaves. I don't want him to be the person who has any say in that. So if you push or pull, either one, like I'm fighting it, and then I'm switching. Because most of the time he's holding onto it, so when I move, his hand also moves. So this one should have I should be able to land my foot on his hip without any blocking. And the other one just immediately goes behind. Same thing for here, he pushes or pulls, and I'm fighting. I'm pushing on, I'm trying to hook, and then I'm switching. Okay. So we're just gonna practice that now. The standing person is just trying to remove the foot off the hip, and the bottom person is just fighting, trying to keep a foot on the hip. But don't wait until they push your foot off their hip, and then bring the other one in. Like I said, you have to control when the foot leaves the hip and switch. So we're gonna do a short round. We're not going for the takedown, we're just practicing switching our feet on their hip. So now, I'm just going to do a little bit longer round where you can go for a sweep. So either one, like the triple sweep or the Sickle sweep. Do you have any questions before we begin? Anything you want to see again? Yes?
Obviously the other person is like pushing the foot like not on the inside of the legs but like on the outside.
On the outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will try to then go here. You can help. So if this one is on the hip,
Yeah.
and he's pushing it here,
Yeah.
yeah. If you push it there, like if I'm not resisting that much, he most likely will be able to push it down. But you do it again, and I'm really fighting for it. Then I try to pick the moment, and I'm just trying to get it here to the outside. After these 2 rounds, I'm going to show you what I can do if I lose a grip or I need to bail on these 2 sweeps. But that's mainly what I have to say. So he pushes. If I'm not trying to push enough into his hip, I might fall down. Like if I'm not working my muscles here. If you push it again, no. So if I'm just not using my strength to keep my foot up, most likely it will just fall down. I do it again. So I'm really fighting it, and then I'm trying to just pull it a little too in the direction that he's pointing it, and then swing it down. Okay. Anything else? Or? Okay, so decide who starts. I will let you know when to switch. And switch. Anything that came up that you need?
Yeah. Only the sweaty part. You know, like.
Oh, the sweaty. So I try to just use this thing here. So I'm just trying to grab around here. Of course, when sweaty and slippery, it just use the grip more often. But here, if I lose the grip, he manages to like remove this hand, and most of the time he will raise up. I just try to switch for shin to shin. Here I can most of the time immediately get the hand back. Other stuff might happen as well. You go into the Ashe attacks and everything, but if I get the wrist, I can immediately go back again for this same sweep. Or I can even just sit up with the hand if I want to. So we're just gonna switch from the Sickle sweep or tripod sweep and to the shin to shin position. Okay, and it helps. Again, if he is really close, of course I'm pulling in. I'm not just gonna immediately go here. I will have to try to push him away to create space so I'm able to sit up. Okay, so we're just gonna play around with that now. I try it for a few moments and then we switch and he tries it. Do you have any questions or do you want to see it again? Okay, so from here or here, we just push him away a little bit. My grip just goes from his ankle to the back of his knee. And I'm just putting my shin on his shin. Here. Yeah. And even if you lose the grip, you can try then and have a grip. Okay, try to get it again and then go for it again. So just play around with it, no resistance, and just make sure you switch on your own. Okay. So we're going to do another set of rounds, but now I have the option of sitting up again. So if you're in shin to shin, if you're used to going for the Asi, try not to do it right now because you're practicing a new skill, possibly. So try to get the hand or his arm here and then just go for the sickle sweep or the tripod sweep again. So here he's trying to remove my foot off his hip. We're fighting that. Also one thing that all of us have to remember. If my hips are way out here, then most of the time my foot is gonna end getting stuck out here. Or if he push this one off, now it can be a hard time for me to recover. So just by keeping my hips more in front of him, it's going to be easier for me to recover and not get stuck on the outside. Here I have I have a better pushing power to the side, but he has his foot to stop that direction. I need to be able to push him backwards where he doesn't have a foot. And from this position, it's more of like pushing it to the side. So if I'm more in front of him, now I have a strong pushing power here. So two good reasons of not keeping your hip close to just the outside of one of his legs. Okay, so now he can try to push or pull my foot off his hip. I'm fighting that. I can try to sit up. If he breaks his grip, or even if he's just able to raise up, you see my arm is extended, which is not good for me. I would just try to raise up. Hold on to the hand if you can, but if you lose the grip, just sit up and try to grab it again. And then bring your elbow preferably to the floor or at least to your ribs. So he's really bent over my foot. Okay. So after, even if I lose the grip here, and he steps back to try to keep his back leg out of reach, I can switch for wrestle up. So the same thing that we did in the beginning of the class. I'm just going to swing my feet back so both my knees go to the floor. I'm blocking his hip, grabbing here, and just standing up for a single leg. So from the other angle, so I'm here, and he steps back, so he'll have a hard time going for those sweeps. I'm just gonna swing both my feet like this, reach around to the opposite side, grab here, and then just try and run with my knee. Here. Go for various types of finishing that takedown, but we're just gonna practice that. So from here, he steps back. Feet go back, and hands go here. Can you see it again? One more time. One more time. Yep. So here he steps back. Like this. If he's squared up against me, I'm not going for this one, but steps back. Here. Just like we did in the beginning. Okay.
You know this one? Head and ass.
Yes.
What he doesn't know is an ass. It's a slight variation.
It's better variation because I can smell what you're eating.
I can take down with oil check.
Yeah, I can like
Change my plan. Yes. So now we're just going to mix it in, and standing person, I'm just feeding the bottom person, I'm feeding my partner options of what he can try to do. So if you just get in, if we just start in this position. So here, I'm fighting the feet. I might be trying to pull up. This gives him the option of sitting up and going for the shin to shin. Here, I can feed him my hand again. He can go back again for the sweep. Or if I'm just trying to keep distance, then I'm just giving him an opportunity of going for the wrestle up technique. So I give him a few options every time we do it, and I might give him even some time to go for it. And then I'll just make it a little bit harder next time he does it, and a little bit harder, just as he needs. So make it difficult enough. Yeah. On the hip, or sort of like here. Okay. Any questions? I'll take that as a no. So, hope you liked it. Thanks for today.
Good, John. Good. Thanks, Mama.